With an effortless driver swing, the change of direction just happens, but the club doesn't follow the hips. So the change of direction from backswing to downswing there to there just happens. The hips go left, but the club does not follow the hips. That's what we're doing today. We're going to do an effortless driver swing. You'll get much more power, much more distance, and more accuracy. Who doesn't want that? Fred Couples wanted that. Watch this.
I'll tell you a couple key points is, for me, I make sure that I make a full shoulder turn. I think every good player, every good amateur wants to do that. And once I get the shoulder turn back, I don't think about the change of direction, it just happens. But once I start coming, my hips will come this way, but my club does not follow my hips, therefore getting no power. So what I try and do is get the club up here, I clear my hips, but I release the club going down the line. But when I say release, I don't hold on this way, otherwise you're going to hit it a mile to the right. So if you can learn to clear your hips a little bit and let the club go down the line and release it towards the ball, not back here where you're doing this. So there's a point where I think about, once I make contact, then I feel like I'm releasing the club.
So the golf club does not follow the hips. So if I set myself up here, I've got my EUREKA canes down, and my Fred Couples has just mentioned there that when he gets to the top of his swing, he gets a full shoulder turn, and then from there, so he's nice and square with his feet. Freddie Couples, he's in here, full shoulder turn, the change of direction happens itself, he doesn't even think about that. And then from there his hips go left, so his left hip goes back there, but the club does not follow that. So this exiting left that everyone talks about online now, that the club has to exit left. Not so much when we're doing this effortless golf swing. We just follow what's on the ground there. That's the canes. So the full shoulder turn that Freddie talks about, if I trace my top cane, so I bring the club slightly more inside, that's going to encourage the shoulders, the upper body to move a little bit more. There's going to be more turn there. I have my feet open in line with the green cane because I'm not as athletic as Freddie Couples, and I know that video is from Freddie when he was in his prime. Most guys on tour as well, very flexible, very athletic. I'm very close to 50 years old. I know that's hard to believe. There, so my feet are open. If my feet are open and I start the downswing, my hips are naturally going to open up. If my feet are square and I start the downswing, this change of direction that Freddie Couples doesn't even think about, I'm going to probably slide a little bit more. So my hips have not opened at all. I want to get my feet open to allow my hips to open on the downswing. And then the release that Freddie talks about. Let me just hit one. Okay. This is my first shot of the day. And there, and Freddie Couples doesn't even think about the change of direction. He just lets his hips open up, and then we'll talk about release in just a second. First shot of the day as well. Superb. Okay, so what happened there? Well, there was lots of turns and things, but there was less effort put in because my feet were open. So what I mean by that is my feet are on this green line. I got my full shoulder turn because I traced the top cane. So this is EUREKA Golf Swing. I'll leave the details below. My full shoulder turn because I bring the club slightly more inside. There, I've got a full shoulder turn. And because my feet are open, my hips are slightly restricted, but they're dying to open up because of that contradiction. I mean, if I stood here like this, my hips are now there, and I turn to the top of my swing there. My hips have turned a little bit, but they really want to jump back. So we've got this huge advantage. We're doing what Freddie Couples does. The only difference between us and Freddie Couples, there's two differences, level of ability obviously, but my feet are more open than Freddie Couples, which is allowing my hips to do their thing. Now the release. The release of the golf club. So we've got the hips working. We're doing what Freddie says, because our feet are open there. My hips do it. The release of the golf club, it's not a throw from up here. My hands definitely don't follow my feet line, because if I do that, I'm going to hold on to this thing forever. I'm never going to get that position. I'm going to drag the handle of the golf club left. So my body opens up and I let the club continue down my target line. That's the feel. But I'm going to think about tracing this red cane. That's going to allow that to happen. So we're cheating Freddie Couples' technique here. I've used the red cane for the shoulder turn. I've used the green cane for the hips opening up. because I've got my feet in line with them. It just naturally happens. The change of direction we don't even think about. There to there. And then I want this club to come down this red cane and continue along the red cane and then let it go. And I'm letting it go at the bottom, and the club head's still tracing out there, but it's not tracing out there like this. I'm letting the club get thrown down that red cane line. Down that line there. Which is allowing me to get club head speed, and as Freddie says there, or alludes to, the speed's at the bottom of the swing. There, 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 release at the bottom, tracing the red cane. Hips are doing their thing by themselves because the hips are doing the things themselves because the feet are already open, naturally happening, and all I'm thinking about there from my full shoulder turn, which has naturally happened because of this cane, all I'm thinking on the way down is trace the red cane, let the club throw through the golf ball. Don't hold and drag these angles, because holding and dragging angles is not cool unless you're playing chip shots, which is a different story altogether. One more thing that Freddie Couples does is he angles the tee towards the target. Leave comments below if you know why he does that. That's very, very interesting. So let's just hit another one. We'll hit a couple more. Couples, this is the difference between myself and Couples with this EUREKA cane setup. Couples is much more square. He takes the club a little bit more out, creates a long shoulder turn, big shoulder turn, and then from there gets the hips to go left and releases there. I think about the post-impact position, 1 yard past impact. I create this Y shape between my arms and my club shaft. I've not held on, I've not thrown away early, I've just got to there, and that's where Couples is with his speed at the bottom. For me, compared to Freddie, I open my feet. Why? Because then my hips will naturally open. Don't even have to think about it. I trace the top red cane. Why? Because it gives me the shoulder turn. I don't even have to think about it. And then on the way down, my only key focus now is, because everything's set, is just to trace the red cane as I let the club go. I'm there, letting the club go. I've just hit 3 draws, 3 beautiful drives by incorporating Freddie's move into this move. But it's really, I mean, Freddie Couples, what a guy, what a guy. It's so interesting how he mentions there that the hips, the club does not follow the hips. And there's so much emphasis online nowadays about the club has to exit left. So the handle goes left and lets the club get thrown out. But that's so hard to do. For amateur golfers, for every golfer, that's very, very hard to do if the body's not working. You can imagine if your hips stay square and you're now trying to get this club to exit left. It's going to be a lot of problems. If the body goes left, then the handle comes left and allow the club to get thrown out the way. It's still hard to visualise the handle going left and the club going, handle coming this way and the club going out that way. Freddie's made it very simple, but he lets the club go down the target line. So it's released at the bottom, but then it goes down the target line. And you can see what happens there. The handle will go left. From there the handle will go in this way, it will go left and the club will go out. And it's just a fraction, it's just for a small element of time, because TrackMan's measuring everything about 1 inch through impact. And we exaggerate everything, but it's only for 1 inch. That's all that really matters. There. Feet open. That's going to let my hips open up. Trace the red cane. That's going to let my shoulders turn. Trace the red cane the way down. Let the club get thrown towards target through the golf ball. Oh, got a little bit of that. Got a little bit of that one. Hold on. There we go. There we go. I'm only human. I was kind of hovering the head there. I don't know what was going on. There. Freddie style. There we go, just a bullet up that right side. That was great, just never drew back a little bit, but you can see how the body's working so hard there. So we're going to look at this once more from a face-on view. These canes are explained on EUREKA Golf Swing website as to what's going on there. But from a face-on view, you should be able to see how my hips open without even trying. and how the club gets thrown down the target line. Okay, I'm trying to avoid the camera. Here we go. I don't know how close that was to the camera, but you guys will tell me. I'd like to thank 3 people. Freddie Couples, thank you. Cardrona Hotel Golf and Country Club, thank you for hosting me today. And you guys for watching and subscribing. If you want to get your hands on a little gadget that fixes 5, 6, probably 7 pieces of your golf swing, it's an amazing little training aid, and there's a discount on there as well. The video on the screen right now, if you click that little orange gadget, that is the answer. That really is, there's much more to it than you think. And no, it's not just a door wedge. It is not just a door wedge. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.